To $4 billion in infrastructure spending will be fast-tracked over the next 4 years as part of an economic stimulus package the Prime Minister says will supercharge investment.
In a speech to the Business Council of Australia, Scott Morrison will also reject calls for direct cash injections to fuel the sluggish economy, describing them as panicked reactions to the situation. Live now to political reporter Eliza Edwards, who joins us from Canberra. Eliza, the PM will argue there is enough stimulus flowing into the economy.
Yeah, that's right. And the economy is being given a major shot in the arm today. The government is responding to calls to accelerate infrastructure funding, bringing forward $3.8 billion in infrastructure spending for shovel-ready projects around the country, $1.8 billion of which will be spent over the next 18 months. We're expecting announcements in Queensland and WA today after South Australia's road funding was revealed on Monday. Scott Morrison says he's cut deals to ensure no state or territory misses out.
We've been working on this since the election. In the last 6 months, I've been working with the state and territory premiers and chief ministers to bring forward projects into this year, next year and the next few years. $3.8 billion being invested in these important projects like the light rail down on the Gold Coast, or the M1 here in Queensland, Tonkin Highway over in Western Australia, or down in New South Wales and the Princes Highway, or the Monash in Melbourne. All of these projects that will provide important extra support to the economy through jobs.
Now, on top of this infrastructure spending, the PM is pointing to drought funding and the income tax cuts rolled out in July to say that the government is spending $9.5 billion on this stimulus, which is flowing through to the economy in the near term. In his speech to the Business Council tonight, Scott Morrison says that level of stimulus is enough for now because the government must also focus on returning the budget to surplus, saying the main purpose of that is to pay down debt. Laura and Pete.
Eliza, the Prime Minister, as you mentioned, will use tonight's speech to unveil the first details of what he's calling the deregulation agenda. What will that involve?
Now, we're expecting a couple of details to be released on this deregulation agenda tonight, which will all be about cutting red tape and stimulating business investment. We've heard a lot of calls on how the government is going to stimulate the sluggish economy and get it moving again, so we're getting quite a clear picture now of what that looks like.